Hey kids, it's Matt from Mad Dad Bricks, and I thought today we might have a little look at my Stephenson's rocket MOC. I'm really excited about this. I was really happy to be able to build this. I'd thought about trying to build Stephenson's rocket for a little while. I actually imagined something quite a bit bigger than this little model, but I wanted it to be playable on the standard Lego tracks for one, and wasn't really quite sure how I was going to solve some of the things with this particular engine. But then two things happened. Number one was that Studio introduced a new feature where you can import a reference image or add a reference image into the design space, into the three-dimensional design space. So you can have the blueprint sitting inside Studio and then build right up against and even through that image and adjust things so that your bricks are sort of semi-transparent so you can see the blueprint even if it's down the middle of your build and inside the build, so you can get things just right and just to scale. So that was the first thing, and you can resize the image to be what you need. So I resized the image so that it fit the track width or the gauge of the Lego tracks, and then went from there. So that was number one. Number two was I saw that there was a Lego Ideas challenge which had a category for vintage transportation. So that's it. I had to have a go. So this is my entry into the Lego House Creativity Challenge for 2023. This ran last year and probably years before. I remember seeing some of the previous winners and the fact that they were able to get their design made at the Lego house and put there on display as part of the exhibition in the Lego house. Amazing. And I'm so honored. This is such a huge deal for me. Well, for anyone, but I'm absolutely thrilled to be able to have the chance to have my little train on display in the Lego house in Denmark. This is incredible. Very, very, very cool. So I thought we'd just have a quick little look at how it operates and how it runs and that sort of thing, and see how it's built and some of the challenges with it. So here we go. So let's have a look first at the engine. So we'll just uncouple the engine from the tender. We'll put the tender to the side for now and just have a look at the engine. So first thing you'll notice is, well, I've used this little crown here to depict the way that was done at the top of the chimney. The other thing is a stack of minifigure heads. Now I use that because at this scale, the minifigure head was really the only round Lego brick type piece or element that got that scale, that diameter correct. So, and it's just cool. Stack of minifigure heads. Next thing is these Lego strings with the studs on either end. I've seen quite a few Lego Stephenson's rocket models that do not include that, and I've seen quite a few that have attempted in different ways to include that feature. I really wanted to include it because I think even though it's subtle, it makes this model quite distinctive. Actually, it adds to the silhouette of the model and its recognizability despite everything else. And another thing to point out is the way that the pistons and these push rods drive the the wheels. So one of the things that I've noticed on a lot of other examples of this is that usually what will happen is that you've got one axle which connects to the driving wheel and then articulates here at this point. But that's not quite how Stephenson's rocket worked. So Stephenson's rocket had the main piston here and then a point of articulation to get that characteristic motion. The other thing you'll notice is that the wheels are offset by 90 degrees to each other, so you get that real chugga 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 sort of thing happening. And we'll just have a look at how this is built. So, well, let's pull some things apart. So first of all, you can remove the chimney and just lay it down so that you can wrap it up in bubble wrap, ready to go. So that's there. This whole section can be disconnected from the firebox like so. So we can put that to the side and have a look at that later. Now you can see inside, if you have a look down there, if you can see that at all properly. Might help if I remove some of these panels. Okay, just pull that off. So you can see the way that that's put together internally. That solution to this particular problem is not mine. It's been floating around for a while, but I needed basically a 3-stud wide cylinder, and I also wanted to have these horizontal features along the boiler, because that's another characteristic of Stephenson's rocket. And the other thing is I wanted these nameplates which have rocket usually printed on them. That would be a cool feature to have were this to be a set, but for now I've just gone with nice shiny gold pieces because that looks great. One of the things is that because this is built with these bricks with 4 studs around, the bottom of it is actually completely upside down. So if let's take the wheels off just so you can see that a little better. So you can see the way that that's constructed, and we can pull this section off there. You can see I used some doors. Yep, used some doors there for just to hide some of that gappiness, but also I thought it was just a fun part usage for that little section there. And then so you can see underneath it's all built upside down. So there you go, that's basically that bit. Oh, and also these tiles just fit nicely into this dish piece there. So that's that. And I probably would like a longer connection here for a bit more stability, but this is good enough for what it is. It's playable. My kids have played with it a bit and it seems to go okay. I would like to strengthen some of this in here just for where the tiles connect, because it does get a little bit floppy with just a single point of connection, but on some of those longer tiles, but it's fine. Anyway, there's not a lot more that I can do with it, I don't think. I have had to think about it though. Okay, and then, so moving to this section, if we pull, or we can pull this off, just like that. I wanted to use some taps and bits and pieces just for some fun. Oh, we might as well meet Mr. Stephenson himself, So I chose these pieces because he's got nice black boots, nice grey pants, very, very practical dress, but still Victorian with his vest and his top hat. So gentlemanly, but pragmatic in driving steam engines. Very good. So, so the way I've got this set up, you can see I've got the firebox there. This flame piece was just a little bit too high for it to sit flat, but I don't mind. I've got a nice roaring fire coming out of there now, so that's cool. So that's that. That's the engine, the locomotive part. So that's that. Okay, let's put all that to the side and have a look at the tender. So the tender I could do probably a little bit differently. The real one doesn't have this angle here, but I like that. I could probably do the sides a little bit differently, perhaps. And I've built all this section up here with plates and inverted slopes and bits and pieces. You could probably simplify this down a little bit, and I may do that for a future version of Stephenson's rocket. But what I really want to show you is this barrel. How is that put together? Interesting. Let's find out. So, for a start, I've got, so it's just sitting there on two studs, and there are only two studs here. There's two anti-studs here, but you can sort of see what's going on there. We can actually pull this part out and have a look. So we've got two clips, and they're going to be clipping onto a bar, of course. So there's a bar that runs all the way through the middle of this. Oh yeah, and if you look inside, I don't know if you can see that very well. I might get the light over here a little bit better. You can see, yeah, see? It's got water in there. It's a water barrel. So it's got water in both sides. Put that light back. So the way this is built up, let's have a look. So let's just pull the whole thing apart. So for a start, I've got these quarter round bricks and just have built those up on a circular plate and reconnected that here at the top. So you've got that section, and we've got the two barrel ends, which are just crow's nest pieces with round bricks in the middle. And then I've built this. Okay, so I have this bar with round plates on it. This goes into there, just like that. This whole section goes on there. Just sits flush, but it's not connected at all. It's just sitting. And then this little bar end goes into the center of that brick. And then you've got a nice little canister, water barrel. So there you go. I love that. And then you can see in the middle there's the bar in there. There's a bar in there that clips on to here, so we can bring our tender back, sit that on there, and then clip the barrel on top, just like that. And there we go. We're ready to go. There. What do you think? Stephenson's rocket. That's basically how it's put together. I'm thinking of doing a little bit more with it. at the moment. Maybe improving a couple of little things and adding some fairly significant additions, let's say. So hopefully those will come soon. I'm not sure if I'll be building that physically or not. It'll depend on what happens, but yeah, can't wait to show you what I'm working on next. So there you go. Thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.